Women have to respect men or they don't like us, and they are collectively removing the things that make them respect us. So the problems are not all men's fault. It's like every woman at once is saying, "Why do you have to breathe so loud?" So you gotta watch body language. Bird hands doesn't always mean she's wrong, but it does mean she's talking down to you.
Yeah.
Again, look how this doesn't match. Oh my god, you got the job. I'm so proud of you.
I got a gem for you guys here today, and it comes from none other than the math genius himself, Home Math. All right, now the clip that I have for you guys here today demonstrates how even men, the very ones who supposedly hold the monopoly on force, can still be manipulated via body language to do the bidding of modern women today. All right. And that right there is a major problem, because while we do need to call out women who go off of the rails completely, we also have to hold accountable the weak-minded simp men who continue to push their feminist ass narratives. Buckle up for this one. It's going to be a good one. Without further ado.
Hey Viv, these mass deportations are going to help out real Americans, right?
I'm gonna stop you right there.
I bet you're wondering how America got here. Well, it all started with bird hands. That's right, America went straight down the tubes as soon as it started letting cranky, dissatisfied women from a 3 to a 6 make these naggy little henpeck gestures on TikTok. I know, it sounds crazy, but let's go back to the beginning.
Okay.
See, a long time ago, people used to understand that women were violent too. A man will just come out in the open and punch you in the nose, but women are small and weak, so they just lie about being victims until someone else does it for them. And that makes all the simps crawl out of the woodwork and do their bidding, like the bugs they are. We used to understand this, and nagging women used to get punished.
Damn.
For other stuff too. This one's called the scold's bridle. It makes it so she can't talk. Pretty crazy, right? But nowadays, women can do whatever they want, whenever they want. And if you so much as point it out, guess what? You're the bad guy.
Yeah.
Tell me that ain't crazy.
Crazy.
What's all this gotta do with bird hands? Everything. All right, that was fun. I finally got Ableton working again. Anyway, the Whatever podcast asked, why do they always do the hand thing, referring to this little henpeck gesture that girls have been making with their hands? And I thought I'd bring you the answer. Here it is.
All right.
So the hand thing that the TikTok girls are doing is the hands are closed and pointed at you. And it means, you better listen to me. I am telling you. Me. This is what you believe now. Me. When you point it at yourself, you get the Italian, like the chef's kiss thing.
it's different.
Oh, I'm telling you, this is so...
Yeah.
Look at what I did over here. I did that unconsciously. This is so good, you should try it. The hands closed over here are, I'm sure of what I'm saying, and I receive your needs. You should try this thing, that's great.
Okay.
This is also used in Italian arguments. I told you about that kid. What Trump does is the open hands, double open hands, and he moves them around a lot. I am listening to you. I understand your needs. When the hands are open towards yourself, it means listen to me. I'm begging you, listen to me. Almost like you're doing the open hands for the other person.
Okay.
You would never do this with that. You would never
No.
say, please listen to
No,
me.
doesn't
I'm
match.
begging you. You see how that doesn't match? So the hand signals they're not nothing. They're unconscious. Like if you just let your hands do what they want while you're talking, they'll sort of do some of the talking for you.
Yeah.
So the fact that the TikTok girls are all doing this is a bad sign. It means they're at the end of
Listen
their
to
rope,
me.
in my opinion, and they're just going like, do what I want,
Do what I want. Right.
So that's how women are doing, I guess. And yeah, it's always the women who are falling off the bottom first. It's the ones who are the most susceptible to social change. But these things always spread. They always spread throughout society. Like 20 years ago, everyone said, don't meet anybody from the internet. And now that's all we do. So this might follow a similar pattern.
I think it's interesting that it says that it starts at the bottom first, right? And then it spreads like a social contagion. And the fact is that if you look at a standard issue modern day feminist, they are not very attractive, all right? And I'm just trying to say that in the most professional way possible, okay? They don't look good. Yeah, right. So it's the lower rungs of them that will start this type of behavior. But it's even worse when you see men do it. And specifically, I'm not really talking about the bird hands. I'm talking about kind of reinforce this victimhood mentality, because it constantly has men adjusting to the feminist paradigm and never the other way around. That's why men that are white knights and simps are not allies of men. They are enablers of bullshit. This is also why I can't stand and I come at these mega influencer pastors as well, because the majority of them got there through this female enablement, convincing the woman to transition the word of God into the word of their lying ass pastor. Let's proceed.
Anybody from the internet, and now that's all we do, so this might follow a similar pattern. I read a little bit about body language on short form. It's a great resource to supplement whatever you're learning. You got to pay attention to what people are doing when they talk, and short form can help.
Very true.
Get 20% off with my link. This is my Who is a 10 chart. It explains why women who are not 10s are always saying they are. I also talked about this on the standard female delusion chart. This is how they talk in public. Everyone's perfect. And then this is how they talk in private. Them and their besties are way up at the top and everyone else is trash. It's a collective negotiation strategy. The way it works is that the mids and the sub-mids are always gassing each other up and excusing each other's behavior because that's the only way they can compete with the top women, who also have to pretend that everyone is beautiful
in public,
or else they don't get to be in the little hand-holding group. And that usually doesn't really matter until they all work in human resources. When they're in a unified group, they control access to everything, especially when they convince the male mids to play along, like they're gonna get something for doing it. They never do. The reason this is so dangerous, and we used to throw rotten fruit at them for doing it, is that the hand-holding group only works when they lie. That's how you show loyalty to the group. You tell ridiculous lies, because the bigger the lie, the more you are proving that you'll say anything to be included.
In order, what he's saying is that, hey, listen, we're better together than we are apart. So in public, we're going to pretend to play nice and act like everyone is equal. In private, it's something different, right? In private, amongst my friends groups, when the whole world can't hear us, then this is what I actually think about that. But in public, we all going to get together and then create this nice little fabric of delusion because more of us feel equal and included. And let's just coddle each other's feelings and emotions. And what do you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm a 10. And if a woman rates herself a 5 at that same table, the other one look at her like, what do you mean? You're at least a 9.
On the scale of 1 to 10, we'll go around the table really quick. You go first.
Me first?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I am 5.
You're 5? Okay.
Yeah, I would consider myself average.
Okay.
An 8.5.
Probably a 6.5.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Lately, I've been feeling like a 4.
Okay.
Solid 4.
I mean, you got the good 80s hair going, so that adds a point or
Don't
two.
need to love yourself a little bit more, bitch. I'm a 10. I'm a 10 through and through, okay? And so are all of you.
Oh, God. Okay, hold on.
Stop the cap.
We gotta be honest here, though.
Stop the cap.
We're supposed to be honest.
Y'all
We're
need to
supposed
love
to be
yourself,
honest.
all of you.
We're supposed to be honest.
The token of submission. That's why it's so disgusting when men do it. And that's why everything is so upside down right now. Because when women get power, they don't just say, I'm better at your job than you, like a man would. It's usually not true, too. Instead, they say things like, babies can be pilots too. Because if that's true, then that means everyone should be accepted everywhere, even if they're not good enough. And by everywhere, they mean only the best places, which is the same thing as saying, I'm a 10. Do you see how it's all connected?
By the best places, he means women who fight for equality in the boardroom, but don't fight for equality within plumbing or sewer work or ice road truckers, right? Very dirty type jobs, right? Like these jobs where, right, the risk that you're putting to yourself, right, like your life, is higher than normal. Quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for my name online and found way too much personal information, which brought me down this weird rabbit hole of how that could have happened, and found out that there's companies out there called data brokers that will sell your data to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. And it's a nasty, disgusting feeling knowing that there's bad actors out there selling my information, selling your information for profit. But that's why I'm recommending today's sponsor, Aura. Now, I use Aura to automatically remove my information from these sites and keep my information off. But they do other things as well, such as bank fraud and identity theft alerts, VPN access. But guys, utilize my link down in the description box down below for a 14-day trial. At least see if you've been compromised. Privacy is king in this day and age, and you should know if your information is out there. So again, utilize my link, aura.com/MTR, in the description box down below to try 2 weeks free. That's way more than enough time to see if your personal data has been exposed. Go now.
A demand and then collectively lie to justify it. I'm a 10 means I am marriage material for anybody.
Yeah.
I should get paid the same as someone who can actually do the job.
Delusional.
It doesn't matter what I do, it matters what I get, even if I'm not earning it. And someone else can make up for what I'm not doing, even if he doesn't get anything. Woo! So then they vote to get, even if they're not earning it. And then when they're getting equal or greater, then they think they're better than you, which makes you icky. And then all the women are looking for a tiny few men, and then no one gets married and has kids, and everyone hates each other.
Whoa.
That's why I want you to look for things like the bird hands. This is all about giving instructions. This is what we believe now. And they're trying to make you simp, and you can't do it because you lose. We all lose. Bird hands.
We all lose. What I loved about his description right there is this right here, this give versus get, and the difference between what they are willing to give versus what they expect to get. I talk about this with men in understanding from her. Does she operate more like an asset to your life or more like a liability to your life? And the disparity of this right here is why many men today are rationalizing against marriage, because outside of the want of a family, there are little to no benefits unless she is a miraculous asset that can help support whatever direction that he is trying to lead you through. And this is also why the "what do you bring to the table" question pisses them off as well, because they haven't thought about what it is that they can truly give. And in fact, the modern woman dogma is about what it is that you can do for me. This is how you get the Akash Singh wife delusion, main character energy that you see down below. Forever trying to convince you that as a man, you should give your life for this uneven equation. And for some of these men, such as an Akash, it's worked.
Lose. We all lose. Bird hands are a sign of desperation. You don't have to be forceful if you're actually in control. So when you see women doing this, they're saying, this is what you have to agree with or you're not in the club. And you don't want to be in the club. Here's a preview from my new levels chart. This one's easier to read. Video's coming soon. Bird hands are coming from this level. They're trying to control you to get power. Here's a few examples.
Men responding to the chopped man epidemic girl are giving the same kind of energy as the kind of man who would hit on you, and when you reject him, would say, "Oh, well, you ain't that cute anyway."
Here's the girl she's talking about.
Like, that's a cute girl.
So here's how things are gonna be.
I want to share my thoughts on this chopped man epidemic thing. But here's the thing. The majority of men out there are not putting any effort into making themselves appear attractive to women.
Dog, to hear chopped women talking about chopped men is just absurd to me. You guys just think of what have you been around, baby? You've had nothing but lying ass sister code circles just tell you that you are more than what you actually are. And right, like, do we not have mirrors in said household, right? How do you come to the conclusion? This also, remember, I did content not too long ago of a woman in tech talking about that most of the men, and this, she's like low-key hideous, most of the men in and around her space that she works with in tech are ugly. And it's like, baby girl, like, how are you missing? Like, how did, but here's the thing. I'm not a woman, so I don't know all of the different ways that they get lied to within a given day. And my thing is that in identification of if a woman is more of an asset or a liability, you have to be able to understand how much of the conditioning, right, of society, of liars around her, right, that she's just absorbed as a part of her being. But let's continue to listen to them birds chirp.
I can see people's attractiveness objectively, and even if I'm not personally attracted to them, I can recognize when someone is attractive.
Notice the excessive pecking. She's saying, believe me, believe me. even though she knows deep down that she wouldn't see these guys as so gross if it wasn't for the power imbalance caused by her own behavior. This one was political activism, and she knows she's full of it.
If watching families being ripped apart does not appeal to your humanity, let me try and appeal to you financially, because these mass ICE deportations are bad for the economy.
Isn't that the face of persuasion? Don't you want to believe everything she says? Here's one more real quick.
Men always complain that women are constantly nagging. Maybe she's not nagging, and it's just that you keep doing the same thing over and over again. A woman doesn't want to be in the position to act like your mother. Don't put yourself in the position to act like her child.
Yeah.
That's good.
Even outside of the henpecked, if you notice, oh God, this is crazy. Like, watch your body
Maybe
language.
she's not nagging, and it's just that you
It's not only the bird hands, but it's also like a representative of like this boss bee swinging your shoulders and your head is going different places. She's looking up at you and then down beneath the camera and up back on. It's like this, right? Like if you watch women's content, what we see often is that there's a type of woman that likes to watch and gets off on watching like emasculinization content, and they want to see women that their image is of that of power and of ruling and of confrontation. They want to watch this type of content, which is also why like a Christy Sarah versus Desmond Scott resonated so much with them, and why they could not tell that he was in an unhappy relationship, because they love so much to see this woman being honored and served and cooked for, and the man being like weak and pathetic. Like they love this type of content. But if they're absorbing that type of content, she more than likely is more of a liability as opposed to an asset, because she doesn't understand how to treat you, how to respect you. This is not her foundation. Women that are worth their weight in salt take a look at emasculinization content and they run from it. They turn away from it. They X off of that button because they don't even want it a part of their soul.
keep doing the same thing over and over again. A woman doesn't want to be in the position to act like your mother. Don't put yourself in the position to act like her child.
Get away
That's
from me.
good advice in a relationship, but on a society-wide scale, you voted for equal, which makes you look at men like children. I don't know if you can do the math. Women have to respect men or they don't like us, and they are collectively removing the things that make them respect us. So the problems are not all men's fault. It's like every woman at once is saying, why do you have to breathe so loud? So you gotta watch body language. Bird hands doesn't always mean she's wrong, but it does mean she's talking down to you.
Yeah.
Again, look how this doesn't match. Oh my God, you got the job. I'm so proud of you. The only way out of this mess is just don't listen to these lies anymore.
Yeah. Boom. Fantastic damn video. Shout out to Homath. And I 1,000% agree with, it doesn't mean that she's wrong. It just means that she's speaking to you as if you are inferior. And from a, trying to communicate to you from an inferior position, she doesn't respect you. But again, one of the nastiest conclusions of this is those that will utilize this behavior to get men to do their bidding. I think it was so disgusting to see all of these men up at feminist rallies with the I am a slut, shout out to 21 Savage and Amber Rose, back up into that. I know it was a long time ago, but that's like one of the examples I always think of. I'm just like, wait, how did she convince, right? Like, how did, no, 21, no. Right. But, inevitably, he fell into something without understanding more information to get how he was being tricked to remove components of his masculinity for a movement. Men who are convinced of or live in the fear of not challenging a woman based off of their delusion, they're not useful. They are effectively enemies to masculine men. Why? Because they just disregard accountability. They disregard reality to placate to irrational delusion. And the truth is that strong men that built the very foundation of, society did so not placating to the delusion of the world. They built it in understanding what society is and how dangerous that it actually is. But it's just crazy to think that because the world is so overly civilized at this point, that now has created or helped to create this new crop of men that are soft, passive, and disconnected from their natural masculine roles. And because the men have lost sight of that, some of the men, then now you get these women that are just making shit up as they go and just going crazy. Now, within all of this, I'm not saying we got a ball gag and put them down in the town square and let them sit there all day. I'm not saying that. That's not funny. I shouldn't be laughing. That is low-key torture. I mean, I don't know what the young ladies had done, right? Like, but at the same time, you guys understand what it is that I'm trying to say, all right? There's just a lack of order, and through the proliferation of social media, you know, the ability to spread misinformation, disinformation has increased a millionfold, right? And not only just that, but then there's been businesses, media organizations that's been created, and then some of those have helped to lobby of like political action and change within our society that is not advantageous to those that help create or civilize the world that we have today. And I just think it's time to reverse that trend, all right? I think that accountability should be placed paramount, right? And I think that it's time for men to stop apologizing for being a man, all right? And to stop this bird hand shit. Nevertheless, hopefully you guys enjoyed this content here today. Do you agree with the things that I'm saying? Did you disagree with the things that I'm saying? I want to see you guys' comments down up in the comment box. Appreciate Aura for sponsoring this video. All right. You don't want no bird hand, young lady, all right, or man, all right, getting a hold of your private information and using it in dastardly form across these internet streets. So shout out to Aura. They are who I utilize to remove my private information off of these public websites. Link to it down in the description box down below to get 2 weeks free. All right, to at least see if your private information has been exposed. That's more than enough time. All right, so go now. But I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Share them thoughts down below. I can't wait to see how it is that y'all feel about this and think about this. And I'll see you soon. Until next time. Peace.
So, without further ado, MTR, cut through the BS like we in charge. No cap with the rappers like steel bars. I'm packing and rapping like here we are. Here we are. Mediocre tutorial reviews. Like, comment, share my views. Come up and I paid my dues. Big step in my black way shoes. MTR, he break it down, yeah, it's MTR. Check out the sound with his MTR. No one put it down like it's MTR.